All right, so I wanted to talk real fast for whatever reason about why I like this amazing trackball mouse by Logitech. Um, I was getting cramps in my hand working at my computer all day, every day, and I was wondering, is there a way that I could kind of alleviate this? And I remember seeing Logitech's vertical mouse, and it looked really cool. Kind of looked like you were controlling like a joystick a little bit. And I remember feeling it at like Best Buy or Micro Center, and it felt really good and really cool. So I was thinking it's probably worth the investment to go for one of these ergonomic mouses as someone that works at their computer all day. So I went to Micro Center to try out a bunch of different ones. Prior to going, I did research on like what mouse is best, and should you do a finger trackball? Should you do trackball at all? Does anybody use trackball mice anymore? There's a thumb option, and then of course there's the vertical option where you still have to move the mouse around, but it's still more comfortable than a normal mouse. So when I went into the place, I mostly had decided on trackball because it really seemed appealing that you didn't have to move your hand around all the time. So I decided I'm gonna look at those and I'm gonna feel. I just was like feeling all of them. Me and my girlfriend were like taking them out of their package, and she's like, how does this one feel? How does this one feel? The finger one was pretty awkward to me, so I didn't go for it. I went for this thumb one. So I was looking at the M575 Logitech mouse, same thumb trackball, and I was also looking at the Logitech, I forget the name of it, but it's the only vertical one that they have. And the vertical one felt cool, but you still have to do those micro mouse movements that I think affect, if you work at your computer as much as I do, I think those micro movements affect the muscles in your arms, your shoulders, your wrists, your fingers. So I was gonna try out, I decided, I felt all of them. I decided to move forward with the thumb tracking one and just see how it goes. I remember I saw a video in particular that was like, they're kind of coming back in style with all the cramps people are getting in their wrists and carpal tunnel. So I was like, okay, sure. And in that video, he showed someone like using the mouse for the first time to show how quickly as humans we can adjust to this movement versus moving the mouse around. And I'd say I got the hang of it in about like 10-15 seconds, which is kind of cool. But I ended up going with the M75 or M575 version, and I tried it out, and I was like, okay, this is good, but I like that the other version that I currently have has an adjustable base, and it had more functions that you could set, like more buttons that you could set the function up, is a better way to put it. And so I quickly was like, okay, I like the thumb trackball. I'm gonna upgrade and get the MX. So this is 99 bucks. They were sold out almost everywhere. I just happened to pick one up at Best Buy, I believe, near me, and it was one of the last ones on the shelf. So I picked this thing up, and it's really awesome. Like, it's just a mouse, but I mean, if you're watching this, you're probably as much of a nerd about it as I am. So this thing it's the only mouse I use. I use it on my main desktop computer. I also use it on my laptop computer. And the reason I can do that is because it has this button here. It's permanent, I don't think, you can't change the function of this button. And it lets you switch between two different devices. And I happen to have two main devices that I switch back and forth between. And all I have to do is click this. And I've had a setup where I have my desktop like right in front of my face, and then I have my laptop in front of me. I don't do it often, but sometimes. And it's so cool to just click this, and now I'm controlling my laptop. Click this, and now I'm back to my desktop. So it was a function where I was like, well, that's stupid that I can't change the function of this, but it actually is one of the most useful functions on the mouse to me. Another thing is that it has more buttons than the M575 mouse, and that's important to me because I'm using all sorts of tools. I decided to, I decided to make the precision button, which means the mouse is going to move a bit slower so you can move things more precisely. I decided to make this button the back button because I think these are rather uncomfortable for front and back. So I made this the back button, and I made this button the forward button. And this is the precision button. It's actually a much more comfortable setup, and I do recommend doing it. And this mouse, unlike the MX575 or M575, this lets you scroll horizontally. The other mouse doesn't let you do that. So what you can do though with this is you can set a certain function based on which direction you're scrolling in. So if you go to scroll left, you can say what you want that to do instead. So for me, copying and pasting everything is high on my list of like click activity. And so I have it set so when I go to the left I copy, when I push this over to the right I paste, and that is just way more efficient. But I also have it so that when I'm in an application like Affinity, I'm able to scroll over to the left, so you can set the buttons according to the application that you're in. So it's kind of really cool, and that is why I love this mouse. I think you'll adjust to this quickly, and I think if you're looking to get this thing, I think you're going to really like it. One of the big things is that it's wireless, and I've never wanted a wireless mouse. I had a bad experience with like some Microsoft ones, and they're really glitchy. You have to plug the thing in, but I realized that was a decade ago. So I took the chance, and wireless is absolutely the way to go. If you have a wired mouse, get this mouse. Because I love that I can move it around anywhere I want to. Sometimes I put it on my lap and I'm just clicking around if it happens to be just lots of clicking rather than typing. It's very useful. It's easy to take around with you. You don't need to connect it directly to your computer. So if you want to switch computers and use your favorite mouse, you can just click the button and you don't have to unplug or plug in anything. It has an easy on and off switch. I throw it in my laptop so I can carry it around with me everywhere. So wireless is the way to go. I'm not even going to try and be old-fashioned about it and be like, well, I'm old school, I like wired. No, just do the thing that's more efficient and go with wireless. Another thing is that the adjustability of it is perfect, to me at least. I had an issue where my pinky felt very cramped because it would be right on the desk as I was moving, and this has two parts to the base. So this adds height to the base, and this part, which you can take off easily, lets you adjust the angle of it. So if I put that back on, I have it on a flat surface, you get that cool angle. For me, it doesn't work because my pinky still gets cramped. So all I do is I push it down like that. Now I have more room on my pinky. But when I add in the base, I get even more space, and it immediately relieved the issues I was having with my pinky kind of cramping up while working a lot. So this mouse has been like literally perfect to me. I pretty much have no adjustments for it. I love a ton of buttons that I can set the function of, but I do think this has a good amount. I think I would want one more button that lets me cut things instead of just copy and paste from what I do for work. So yeah, that's my review of the mouse, whatever you would want to call it. I hope I've convinced someone to get it because it actually is really nice, and it's probably going to save you some shoulder muscle strain, arm, wrist muscle strain down the line. It's a really, really cool product. Oh, another thing is that the battery lasts like 4 months or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's 4 months. The other one lasts like a year or something, but this has more functions to it, so I get the battery running out faster. So yeah, I think that's about it for the review. It's 99 bucks. I think it's totally worth it if you're using like a laser mouse or something like that right now. Definitely get it if you can afford it, of course. Bye.